yes, I just thought I'd give you an update to show you where we are in terms of this music production setup. I have the MPC as my centerpiece for beat making and music production. And it's been quite a journey because it's like I've been trying to build a system that sounds nothing like any other system. And I know other people have also made videos talking about how the MPC, how to get more out of the MPC by kind of like going through analog gear and such and that to get more of a sound. I've seen these videos popping up on YouTube recently. So this is something that I was on a journey on since I bought the MPC, which I believe when it first came out, I'm not sure when, 2001, 2000, I don't know when this MPC Live came out, but I bought this MPC like maybe some months after it came out. And that was the first thing I heard when I plugged it up, because I was lucky enough to have an MPC 1000 before. I don't really want to get into the whole debate about how the one is digital and the analog and how, you know, the conversion sounds different and all that. But one thing that I knew is that this sound was very clean. Everything coming out of the main two channels, the two channel out from the MPC Live, when you have like the drums and the 808 and then all the melodies and everything coming through just those two outputs, it has a very clipped sound. I don't know if what's the word I'm trying to look for. Like, it sounds like it can't represent all of the dynamics. You lose the punchiness of the drums, especially when it's, you know, with the 808. Yes, we can talk about mixing and all side chaining and all this, but it just has a sound that sounds like something's over it, like a mud, or not mud, but like it's masked, put it that way. So on this journey, I thought, okay, how do I get the MPC to have get more out of the MPC in terms of sound? So obviously it comes with these outputs at the back, and I tried to basically see if I can use two for the drums, two for the music, two for 808s or whatever it may be, and then stem it out that way, you know, going into the converter at the time. What did I have at the time? I don't know, one of those pre-Sonos Studio Live consoles or whatever. Didn't really like the sound of it too much. I mean, it sounded all right, but I just felt like there could be more. So then Akai then released an update where you could connect class compliant audio interfaces. So that time I got rid of the pre-Sonos Studio Live console thing, and I was on a journey to buy a specific audio interface for the Akai MPC. So looking around, went through some options and that, and then something came to my mind. A British company called Cranborne Audio, they released these interfaces here. This Cranborne, I think it's R8, they call this one. This is a class compliant audio interface. So I thought to myself, if I wanted to integrate audio into this, might as well buy this, connect it via USB to that. Then I got the expansion for the Cranborne 500 or whatever they call it, Cranborne 500 ADAT rack, and connected it. So this gave me 16 channels with a potential of 24 if I buy another one of these for ADAT 500. And that gave me 16 channels of analog outputs and inputs. Well, what's interesting about this setup is that you can run 500 series modules on each of the outputs. So yes, that brought the sound up. You know, I could put analog EQs, compressors, channel strips, stereo bus compressors, you name it. It's like, yeah, the sound improved. It sounded much more better. It sounded a lot more thicker, fatter. I could do a lot more. It's more inspiring to work on. But then, how do you capture the sound? So, you know, you could record back into the MPC everything you've done, but the conversion on the MPC wasn't the greatest. The Cranborne Audio, don't get me wrong, this is a very nice piece, but the master conversion on this, it's not, it's okay. It's not the best. So then it then came to my head. I said, well, what if I use this as a digital to analog converter to get the sound from the MPC via USB going into this, but then have the outputs, the direct analog outputs of this going into another audio interface. So then I got the Universal Audio Apollo X16, and I got the Twin X. I use this mainly for remote recording when I leave the studio and I'm doing sessions on the fly. And when I come back in the studio, I just literally plug two cables into the power lead and Thunderbolt 3 or 4 cable, I think Thunderbolt 4 cable, into this, and I can just use this as a monitor controller, and I get 2 extra Unison preamps. So if I want to do a session inside this studio, I can just use the Unison preamps and etc. etc. But not to slide off track. But then the outputs, the direct outputs of these are going into this converter, and let me tell you, I think I finally got the craziest sound possible. This USB out going into these analog equipment, going into this to capture it from digital to analog in Logic or wherever I want to capture it, whatever, it sounds crazy. And it's like I don't even have to go to Logic. Like if I use Console, yeah, the app that runs with this, I can run UAD plugins directly onto this. The sound is ridiculous. I can't explain it to you. Now, I think it's because the headroom on this is like plus 24 dBu. So it's like you're getting really high headroom. So obviously with the outputs going into this Carnaby, which is also 24 dBu as well, headroom, you can really push these things. So you're getting sound. And the clip, if you were to clip some of the inputs going in on this, specifically on drums and 808, it is a very pleasing sound with the Apollo X16. So it's like you can get really smashed sounding, hard hitting drums, good for drill, trap, that kind of sound. And yeah, man, this is it. This is the sound. This is the sound. So I just wanted to share my update. Obviously, I got a mastering chain over here as well, and it's all connected up by patch base. So I can patch in any of these pieces of gear into any of these pieces of gear. So it's like I can switch out what I want to use on what. And I still got a DSD recorder over here. I like this DSD recorder. I use this going from 10 ohm, what do they call it? AES output directly into this. So there's no conversion, it stays digital. And I can use this to record the final product if I want to on the fly. I can even mix and master in on my computer or in Logic and go that and just use the AES output and record directly in here as opposed to bouncing us. I can bounce live using this device. And yeah, I used to have this over here, this TC Helicon voice thing. I used to use this as a live way of getting auto-tune for my artists and stuff like that, so they could hear the audio. But now that I've got this Apollo interface, obviously I can just run auto-tune and all of that in real time using the Unison plugins. So this setup is crazy. I'm really, really happy with the sound of this. I'm going to start to make demonstrations and stuff like this. Please forgive me because I'm not really good at, or I'm just new to making YouTube videos and stuff. I don't really know how this works. But if you guys are interested in me giving you more updates and showing you, going through how everything in itself works, just let me know. So this is the setup. I use this for like external sounds and stuff like this. Is a really nice piano keyboard. Yeah, so I'll just show you quickly some of the, yeah, you know. And then also, I will show you this down here. So this is another piece to the puzzle as well, this N8. But I'll make this in another video for you and explain how I've got all my external synths going into this, because I can literally, at a flick of a button, switch things. So it's like, if I have this here, USB, on USB mode, for example, if I take, this is an example, USB mode, it switches in USB, that's the MPC. Analog, that's the X16 sending out from Logic or whatever I want to use into this. So I can mix that car system, that's my synths. So literally at a flick of a switch, I can choose what exactly I want to send into this thing. So I can send either the MPC into here, yeah, and mix directly into this. I can send my synths directly into this, and because it's connected to USB, I can record the synth straight into the MPC, or I can choose to output whatever's coming out of Logic and those things directly into this. So it's I think this is the ultimate setup for an MPC, and everything works seamlessly when I plug it in with my laptop. I've got a MacBook M4 Pro Max, whatever. And if you know anything about those computers, yeah, literally the CPU on there is so powerful. It's a 14 core something. I'm telling you that a 32 buffer size, you can mix a whole project, like a crazy project, without even changing buffer rate. So now we're in a position here where music production, it's just the only limitation now is your mind. It's just a crazy sound. At some stage, I'm going to start to upload stuff. Just be patient with me. You guys give me some support and stuff like that. You know, give me some advice as well. You know what I'm saying? And then we work together and stuff. And I'll share, because you know, I'm happy to share my knowledge. Like, I know, I've been doing audio for quite a while now. So, you know, I'm not going to do all that, tell you all those stuff that, you know, everybody else says we should do this, we should do that. I'll show you real life examples and show you exactly how it is to do stuff in the studio, because as any professional will tell you, no two projects are the same, and you encounter lots of different issues. And then it's not about just knowing tricks and tips, because I don't really believe there's such things as tricks and tips. Is being able to understand your tools very well, your ears, being able to use your ears to identify what the problem is, and then your brain to be able to select what tool to use to resolve problems or issues or bring out the most in things. So no two things are the same. I don't believe in tricks and tips and all this type of stuff. It's all about embedding knowledge and understanding the tools. So yeah, thank you very much for your time. I hope that you found this video useful.